All right, all right. Hello, everyone. I had just filmed episode 9 and I took a little break and then I was like, you know what? I can't wait. Let's do the reunion. This is episode 10, Queer Ultimatum, season 2. Let's see what happens.
We're looking back at it and it's just like a lot did happen. We all had deep and meaningful connections.
Absolutely.
We really appreciate the growth that we had with one another.
Yeah.
I went into this thinking nothing could break us up, and I almost left not knowing who Haley was. And now I'm like, that was a year ago. That was crazy. We were all in a crazy situation. Like, maybe we won't all be best friends from this experience, but I'm not in a place where I need to cut you or cut this, like what happened, because that's just not where we're at.
Yeah.
Okay, already a weird start. The editing is strange. It's like the way that it moves in. Now, from my understanding of how Netflix records these reunions, is like the reunion can be hours long and they cut it down to like an hour episode. So my assumption is like, we should always watch this show and every show on Netflix and every reality TV show with just like a grain of salt. It's not that reality shows are scripted, it's that they're heavily edited. And when they're heavily edited, it feels scripted in a sense, but it's not. So I would just say like we should watch this with a grain of salt.
Last we saw you, you were celebrating an engagement. How does it feel to be an engaged couple?
Awesome. I think we grew stronger in our love, which was amazing.
Yeah.
We gained a stronger fellowship with God for ourselves.
Okay, first of all, when people say God, it just makes me question everything. So like, which God are you talking about? So curious. Also love that they're matching. And I just think they look both amazing. Just like great fashion. One just...
If I'm being real, some of that I have to attest to Marita, because Marita actually let me know, like, it would be the business or you, she would choose you every time. Brittany is doing this business for us, to build a future for us.
Once again, as the person who, you know, makes the money and is working so many hours in the day, I really appreciate that my partner reassures me that one, they support my career, but two, they know that ultimately I'm doing it for us as a team and that I am on a team in which my partner supports my career. Because when you're a career person versus a job person, it's like, it's a different kind of baby. It's like, I treat this with such importance because it is something that I want to do until retirement. Like I'm thinking about 70-year-old Brittany. This isn't just a job I'm doing to pay my bills and drink my beer money. Like this is my beer money, right? I also know so many heterosexual couples that this is like a main complaint for them. Their husbands work too much, they never see them, or the husbands literally use the excuse if I have to work to avoid spending time with their families. So I just think like you need to make sure you know which person you are in the story and why you're working so much and make sure it's for the right reason.
I would also say it was more than just us being friends. Like we emotionally connected on such a deep level that helped us both grow.
Just ready to put single AJ to the test and see what kind of AJ we're gonna get. Everybody has something to give AJ. Got a little piece of AJ. I don't know who this AJ is. Knows she wants to marry AJ.
I also talk about myself in third person, so I get it.
Marita warned me beforehand. She's like, you're not gonna like our conversations. And then seeing how she was speaking that way with everybody, like, yeah, it's a little odd to me, but it's just like every conversation AJ had with everybody it was very like sexual.
AJ as a person just connects with everybody she meets. She's gonna find the heart in somebody that she's talking to. She's gonna get to know them like on a personal level, but it's not like it was malicious.
I feel like AJ was being AJ. I know who I am and what I bring to the table and what I can bring.
AJ was being a little bit of a flirt, but you know, so was Marita. Like that's why Marita and AJ were kind of like perfect together as trial wives, because they were both kind of like ready to mingle and excited to be there. But I could see why it was off-putting to other people.
I was just trying to figure out what it was that I needed in those times.
Marie, during your trial marriage, you said that you had never felt more alone. Do you think that AJ could have done more for you as a trial wife?
AJ did the best that AJ could.
Oof, Marie is still so angry. Like a year later, Marie is so angry. Yeah, that's heavy, bro. I do wonder if anyone's going to mention therapy, because like that anger coming from Marie, that just needs to be deconstructed, right? It just needs to be observed, understood. It's just like, it feels like Marie isn't in her radical acceptance stage, obviously. She's holding on to so much of that anger. And like, how has that been serving you? It's been a year later and you're still angry. Like, how is it serving you, right?
There's nothing more to that?
No.
Have you stayed close with AJ after this experience?
No, I did not stay close.
I'm sad a little bit though. Like,
You don't
I'm
need
sad
to
that
be.
we don't,
Do not.
that we
Ooh, girl. Okay. Whew.
still don't have some type of relationship outside, because I think I was trying to give you space.
Is that what you
more
want,
space.
a relationship outside?
Yeah, we
You
live
want to
20
be my
minutes down the
friend? No,
street.
whoa, what's that face, Britt?
No, I'm just like, yeah. That's what I said that to you when I saw you last.
Brittany, do you have any?
I have a lot of feelings about that energy. Like, I do feel so much authenticity from Brittany and AJ that I don't understand Marie's reaction. Maybe I'm missing context.
Thing to say to Marie after watching back their trial marriage?
Your trial marriage started off beautifully. I totally understand why you guys chose each other. I can see where the switch flipped for you, that you felt like AJ wasn't there for you. And even when I dug a little deeper and tried to figure out why, it did seem like it was just something that you maybe were blaming AJ for when it didn't necessarily stem from her.
Brittany, watching episodes 1 to 9 and seeing how much you felt towards the situation that was not nearly as romantic truly like struck something with me because you were struggling on your own accord.
Okay.
And you had a best friend to get through it.
It sounds like Marie is resentful that she doesn't get the things that she feels like other people get. It does feel like she's angry, like almost like she feels like she keeps getting fucked over, but like no one's fucking you over. It's just how life went. Like there's no chill in Marie. She pretends to be chill, but there's no chill in her. So maybe that's what she's like, it's a resentment, I think.
If we and Marita ended up together and we just made the best out of our trial marriage, like what does that have to do with your trial marriage?
I'm just speaking on the fact that it was a very different experience. Whereas I saw Mel with Dayna versus AJ seeing you with Marita, you can't actually see it.
I see that it's different,
Okay.
right?
We see
but
that.
The fact that it's different, I will never, like let's say everything was reversed, right? I wouldn't be mad at someone else because—
Nobody's mad.
Or then why is it being brought up?
Because it's a conversation. It's a reunion.
It's because she's angry. It's because Marie is angry, but she's probably not aware that she's angry, but everybody else is aware of it. Her short, curt answers, making everyone feel like they're walking on eggshells. Like, does Marie know she's angry?
I think what Marie's trying to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, and also I don't want to speak for you.
I would love to correct you if you're
I think
wrong.
you're trying to get at the fact that you guys were continuing to see each other. And so you had each other in some way as a support system.
If you can truly empathize on that notion, you will fully 100% see where I'm coming from.
I think you're holding a grudge or some type of anger or animosity, whatever that word is, towards us just because AJ saw me at a time that I was vulnerable and needed her.
I don't even know if Marie is doing it towards them in particular or just the situation in particular. But yeah, obviously Marie is angry. She has the right to be upset, but it's been a year. You know what I mean? Like, it's been a year, girl. Why are we still angry?
When I'm sure you saw Mel.
Yeah, and she didn't say hi to me.
But that isn't our issue.
I understand, but do you empathize as a human to human?
We never even.
Okay, and I'm not holding animosity.
So again, it's we can empathize for the position you were in then, but why are you still angry 12 months later?
Like truly, like that wasn't okay. Like I even told
and I'm
Mel
not
that wasn't
speaking
okay.
on whether or not, I'm just speaking on the fact that it was a very different experience. I'm not attacking anyone. I'm speaking as clear, concise, empathetic as possible. I'm trying to be so soft with everybody because there's a lot in me right now, which anybody who watched episodes 1 to 9 will understand why.
Yeah, I think what you went through was extremely hard. If there's anything that I could have done better, I would just pray that you let me know that because that's the only way I could truly grow.
No,
Like,
you did what, like, no, I'm grateful for what it was. Truly, wholeheartedly, I'm happy you guys are happy.
When we went back, she was still kind of just using me, and I kicked her out, and I told her to go back to Indiana.
Okay, for context, we never got back together after the show. She was upset because we didn't leave engaged.
Oh.
And like we went to Key West after that. We had a great time.
You want to know what happened?
Oh.
The day after, I
can't
asked
even
the
finish my
producers,
sentences.
get me a hotel room that night because I was heartbroken. You asked my dad for his blessing. And then the
Yes,
next time I
but-
saw you, you didn't propose to me. I was heartbroken, Ashley. I was in love with you.
Yeah, I
and then
mean,
the next
same.
day
I
you
literally
packed
begged
my
for you,
car
like, the whole
and say,
past
hey,
year
we're gonna
to
go
be
to the
with me.
Keys because none of the show mattered.
Yeah.
All of that was for show. And you know what? That's called gaslighting.
Actually,
Oh, actually, it's okay. Everyone slow down and relax. Obviously, it's not gaslighting. This is just the messy reality of like not knowing yourself enough to not have been in this relationship in the first place. Like, why is Marita acting like a victim in a relationship that was making her so unhappy that her partner had to issue an ultimatum to bring her on a show? I feel like nothing Ashley would have done would have made Marita happy.
no, I just didn't let myself be like completely myself because there were cameras around.
Well,
I
you
don't
know
have
what?
this
I know
personality.
the truth behind you. Let's talk about the fact that my grandfather was dying.
Okay.
I was home in California, and this one was cheating on me.
You guys were together?
No.
Yes, we were.
But
Maddie
she's
and
allowed
Ashley
to date.
went
If
to
you
New
guys
York
aren't
together.
together, she's
We're
allowed to
talk.
do whatever she wants. Are you saying you were together?
You know what? I'm just
We
going to
were
sit here
not.
until you let me talk. I don't know why you're the one that's facilitating this conversation. It has nothing to do with you.
Were you and Ashley together?
You together with Ashley or no?
Yes.
Do you want to count the times you cheated on me? Because I can name 5.
I can name 5 times right now.
I literally have
I
done
actually
nothing but
fucking
respect
hate
you.
you. I hope you know
That's a lot.
Wow.
Okay, deep breaths. I cheated on you 5 times. You cheated on me 5 times? 5 times is crazy.
I just literally can't. Yeah, just so you know, my grandma's dying right now.
Yeah, I don't care. Guess what? You didn't care either. You cheated on me.
Ooh, okay. Skirt. Oh no.
Okay, just breathe. All right, let's settle down, everyone.
Yeah, get out.
Marita.
Oh my God. See, Marita is rude. Marita is rude. And AJ just said rude. Yeah, what's wrong with Marita? Hello?
I can't. Like, she's literally, I won't even get to say bye to her.
Oh, she should go be with her grandma.
Listen,
Can I give you a hug?
Yes.
I love.
Thank you.
I love you so much.
I ain't gonna validate Marita in this. Zero validation.
I love you so much.
I'm very sorry about your grandpa,
both. Thanks.
but I'm also sorry about her parents too. And that wasn't nice.
Sorry you didn't cheat on someone while her grandfather was
I'm
killed.
sorry I didn't cheat on someone.
Oof, this is a rough watch. You guys warned me, but this is rough.
Someone either, babe. I see you. I'm right here. Let's simmer.
That was not how I expected everything to go down, and I apologize.
I'm glad you guys are back. Ashley, how are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, not good. It hurts to hear Marita scream that because, like, her and I talked and, like, you know, I owned up on accountability of, like, where I handled situations wrong in that time. And it's just, like, crazy to me because I could never, like, scream that I hate her because I don't.
Yeah. And Marita, I'm just interested to hear what your thoughts were when you heard that Ashley was reversing on giving the ultimatum.
I didn't know that you were convincing Ashley to reverse the ultimatum on me.
Oh, what? So now Bridget's at fault? I don't like Marita. I don't like Dayna. I don't like Mel. And I don't like Marita. I will say there's something about Mel that I do like. But in general, I'm going to say I don't. I also don't like Marie very much. At this point, she's too angry for me. Like, it's too much, girl. Like, you're a stranger and it's like too much. Marita specifically blaming Bridget and everybody else, never taking accountability for how she participates or involves herself in any of these situations is crazy.
And yeah, I mean, throughout the episodes, it just kind of seems like you didn't really put in much effort.
Wow. That's so funny. I feel so different watching it as a stranger. Obviously, I'm more Team Ashley than Team Marita.
There was no lack of love. Like, Ashley loved you so much, and I'm sure she still does. There was no, like, convincing her to reverse an ultimatum. That was never the case. We talked so often about where Ashley needed to grow and where she wanted to grow and, like, what she was working on.
It's crazy to me how many people are just so convinced that, like, oh, somebody must have convinced you, versus realizing, like, you were enough to convince me to say no. God forbid Marita ever realize, like, she is just not compatible for marriage.
We had a great relationship. I still get emotional because it's tough, you know? It's like I lost my best friend. I'm sorry.
How does it feel hearing that?
I mean, I agree. I'll never forget the relationship that we had. I think that there are a lot of highlights, and I was absolutely fully in love.
If there's any chance of a reconciliation?
No.
I mean, I eventually, like, hope so and, like, hope, like, we could talk. I'll be honest.
Sometimes you just gotta let it go, girls.
It's like, I do think about her a lot. She is someone that, like, you know, I'm always going to care for.
See, this is you can't date Ashley right now because she's still involved with Marita. And you can't tell Marita she's still too emotional about Ashley. Neither of these people are in a position to date anybody. You can't feel this strongly about your ex and be dating other people. This is what I'm saying. Like, you need to give yourself time to heal. 3 years, 4 years, whatever it takes to fully move on from this relationship.
Because truly, what you did to me, it's heartbreaking.
What you did to me? Oh, God, Marita's just so toxic, bro.
So, Mel, can you share the status of your relationship with Marie?
With Marie is non-existent, period.
What happened?
Before we get into that, I have a question.
Uh-oh.
Dayna, we had very full-length conversations about how you thought Mel was invaluable to you.
Yeah.
Did you and Mel hook up before sitting next to me and talking to me?
Yeah, we had kissed by the time that we had a cocktail party.
And more than that?
After the first cocktail party would have been like where something more
After
happened.
the first cocktail party?
Yeah. It was hard to even watch myself. Like, seeing your pain was really, like, genuinely so hard to see, and, like, the guilt that I feel. I guess I justified that it wasn't my place. It was delusional at the time to think that with everything that had happened, that there was an appropriate point of having a friendship, and it wasn't fair to you, and I'm so sorry.
Okay, now we know they're trying to trick all of us and lie to all of us, and we knew.
The question was, what happened with us?
Oh, you don't want to be with me anymore?
Oh,
is that true?
Oh, Marie didn't want to be with Mel anymore?
I mean, I broke up with her. Ironically enough, before the episodes aired. How embarrassing would that have been?
When did you break up?
A couple months after we came back home, trying to do things a little bit more individual. Just, I kind of set boundaries a little bit more. I didn't want to do food truck as much as I needed to. I know the person who I had said yes to was very hesitant on many different reasons. Did you really think I didn't know that you couldn't have kids?
Yo, this is a hard watch. This is a very difficult watch.
I've known you for, like, your whole life.
What else?
When you found out that you had lupus, you think I didn't do, like, this deep dive research? Where did all those lupus books go?
Give me more. What else did you know?
This isn't a jab, Mel. It's a conversation.
What? This is such a weird conversation.
I'm speaking.
Really? Because it sounds like you're jabbing. What else do you know?
That's how I speak. Or
You
did
can't
you
answer a
forget?
question with a question.
Okay.
now that I'm slightly triggered. What is up with you and those Brussels sprouts? What was your issue? Why would you make those?
Why are you so triggered about that?
Dayna, did you like those Brussels sprouts?
Marie, I promise I don't understand the relevance. Marie, come on. Like, stop doing this.
It's
What?
like the most asinine thing that you're like.
It's not asinine. It's asinine? Are
Like,
you
what
serious?
Brussels sprouts, bro? There's
Who
way
taught you how to
bigger-
make those?
You didn't teach me anything.
Crazy.
So Mel can't make somebody else Brussels sprouts because Marie made Brussels sprouts for her? Question mark. This is what I'm saying. You cannot go on a date with somebody who's like still in it like this. Ooh, a year later and like no, I still where's nobody mentioned therapy yet?
That's funny.
That's cute.
Yo. So wait, now that they've fully admitted they hooked up, now it's so funny for Dayna and Mel to be like, I don't trust Haley. Haley's so manipulative.
I'm wondering, is the Spotify playlist the receipt?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
I'm very glad I'm single right now. I'm just gonna say that.
I want to hear.
Yeah, I'm like, honestly, like, I'm glad I'm single. Just kidding. I'm glad I'm married, I guess. I don't know. I'm glad I'm just none of these people.
There was not one sex song.
Yeah,
just
it was
to be
actually
very clear.
That would be a very sad sex playlist.
Oh, interesting. So they're saying the playlist wasn't even sexy.
Megan was the one that called it proof initially. It was probably the wrong word for it, and I should not have reiterated the words proof, receipts, whatever. That's not what it was.
You didn't say a word at the cocktail party about what was going on between you two, even though everyone knew. You didn't say anything about that. I know you didn't either.
I did tell Pilar.
Well, good for you, but that wouldn't have been anyone else's place, would it not be? So
But I
what did
think
you
that
want
if
from
I
me?
have suspicions of it, I think that it is my place to tell my friend.
Agreed.
My suspicion.
I don't think it's fair for Haley because whatever the case may be, something did happen.
Okay, so they're on the same page in that regard, at least. Marie feels like she's glad she found out because there was something happening. And then for everyone to, like, for Mel and Dayna to act like nothing happened was so messed up. And it made Haley doubt herself. It made Megan doubt herself. It made everybody doubt, like, made Marie doubt herself. Marie was like, I trust you. I believe you. I'm disappointed in Haley. But then, you know what I mean? It's just like, it was so messy. This is why you shouldn't lie.
I know that we can all define sex differently. So let's take a look at what some of you consider sex.
Sexual cuddling.
If you ask like a hetero couple, it's like, well,
That's it. But with lesbians and queer people, there's just such a broad way to say sex. If you twiddle her pussy, guess what? That might be sex in one group, right? You eat me, I eat you. Done. Good night.
penetration of any sorts.
True.
If you shove like any object in her, that might be sex.
Oh my
I'm trying
God.
not to be too like graphic. I define sex as like oral pleasure.
Bro, I feel like my rule of thumb has always been like, it's sex if we're both naked, but also there's things you can do that are sexual before we call it sex. Like either way, I just think like anything past kissing is sexual.
And no, we did not have sex in that way. We did not finger each other. We did not do anything like that.
Next thing you know, she lied off of a technicality on what sex means.
Honestly, no one's business, and I'm tired of like it being people thinking it's their business. This is between me and Mel and whoever we share our personal lives with.
Okay, so they're still not considering it sex. All right, whatever. Not my life.
I felt like by not telling her anything intimate at all happened, yes, I lied. But I think that if we're going off of, you know, exactly what we just spoke about and technicality of all this and all that, then no. So I was using like I'm not gonna say a loophole, but like a.
But you were using a loophole. That's a good word, though. You were lying by omission. One of the biggest forms of deception in my mind, especially with an intimate partner.
No, we didn't have sex because we hadn't gone to that extent. But to not say that anything other than like, you know, whatever happened, then yes.
I mean, if I'm being completely honest, like when Dayna and I come together, we have like a certain type of energy together. When her and Mel came together, they had their own type of energy. You know, like I also exhibited a different energy than, you know, what Dayna and I have with Haley, and we both leaned into it. Now we're just understanding how to be better partners and really just understand what we need individually.
You guys got matching tattoos during the process.
Oh, Lord. Yeah. Please tell me they got them removed.
I think like the thought behind it when we got the tattoos was like, there is potentially going to be a big chance we are not going to be in each other's lives after this. So I think when it came to the tattoo, it was like, well, at least we'll have this thing.
Girl, the way I would cover that up and get it removed ASAP.
I didn't need to get a tattoo. We could have got maybe like a henna.
I felt like at points, like with Dayna, it would be like, well, who can be stupider? Like, who can make the worst decision? And then we're both just kind of like, okay, like, let's go with it.
True.
I think there's even a point where we were just like, we're just going to make dumb decisions and regret it later. And it's just like, why would we think that's like a good idea?
Very childlike. Like, they're very immature.
Marie, is there anything left that you want to say to Mel?
No.
Mel, anything to Marie?
No.
Okay. Thank you both for sharing with us today.
I do think Mel smiles out of anxiety. That's what I think is her like a comfort thing. I laugh when I'm like really anxious, like for sure. So I don't hold that against her, but I think like it's the curtness of Marie, the no, that's really like intense. Yeah, I think this is the kind of anger you share like in therapy or with close friends, but it's the kind of anger I don't think you can hide even on TV. But I think like I hope one day that goes away for Marie. I hope she's less angry one day.
Kyle and Bridget, give us an update. How are you guys doing?
I'm pregnant.
For a second, I was like, oh, hey, maybe it's possible.
No, just kidding. We can't afford that. We're living together.
How has that been?
It's been great.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I was hesitant just because like things were so good and I didn't want to mess up a good thing. And I think I've moved fast in the past. And so I felt like we waited until we were desperate to live together. And I think that's how it should be.
Yeah.
The way of phrasing that is so funny. I love their aesthetics. I love Kyle's little outgrown hair. It's so cute. And I love that they moved in with each other because I think that's a good step forward if you're going to do life together. So cool.
What are some of the things that you've learned about each other now that you're living together that you love, maybe don't love?
We're both pretty type B.
Yeah, we're very similar.
Yeah, and like
Kind of a mess.
yeah, it could be a mess. Bridget's like really not. She leaves things out a lot, so it's hard. And like no one is like
It's so ADHD coded.
the one that's like, okay, we need to clean. We like plan cleaning, then we like don't, and it's just like I'll find Bridget like laying on the bed. I'm like, hey, I thought you were supposed to be like putting clothes away.
I will say my partner and I make each other cleaner people. Like we're like clutter fiends. We're both neurodivergent. I think our original spaces were very cluttered, but our shared space is like very clean compared to when we were single. And I think we make each other better, cleaner people. Because again, it's not just about us anymore. So we make it an effort to keep the house at a certain standard for each other. And it's nice. Like living together a couple years now, it's been a really great experience.
Our love is deeper in a way because we've had to like navigate new challenges.
Yeah.
What was the turning point for you to make you want to take the next step?
My whole thing is that marriage to me, I didn't really understand what the big deal was or like why anybody needs to do it. This is a thing that matters a lot to the person that I love, that I want to spend my life with. So like, why am I not embracing that?
Just like the Wicked song, because I knew you, I have been changed for good.
Oh my God. I love listening to that song. Oh, there's a video on YouTube I play on repeat. Oh my God, I'm going to link it in the pinned comment for this video because I love this iteration of that song. And so good.
So cute.
She's a sweetheart.
Oh, so sweet. The conversation that we have, I will always hold that in my heart. My parents, I feel like I was always picturing a certain like a conversation, a realization, like a big like apology, like a cry. And I realized I can only control me. And maybe that'll never come or maybe it will come, but like I can also forgive and move on. And I was like, well, damn.
Yes, Pilar. Yes, love to see it.
That's so simple when you say it like that. And so, yeah, that was really like turning a pivotal point for me.
Just
Beautiful.
Watching what you went through, it's really an inspiration. I know it wasn't easy, but it's incredible to see where you are now.
It's been really good. One thing that we have started is planning for an elopement. And that just kind of comes down to like the place and the world that we're living in right now.
I think that's a reference to the politics of like the administration. Trump should be president. I think during the time they're filming this, Europe is literally giving travel advisory warnings to gay people not to go to the United States. I just want you to like process how crazy that is. That's the state of the world we're in right now.
The biggest thing through this experience was really me letting go of like my attachment of my self-worth to their acceptance. It's not exactly the happy ending or full circle moment that I was hoping to give. I feel like in me standing up for myself and having those hard conversations with my parents, it's led to doors being open that I never thought would be open. And I don't know what the wedding's gonna look like exactly, but for the first time, I feel like so free and happy and just like us and our love is like enough. And
Totally understand where you're coming from with your family. Like even though my family is coming around now, it took so many years for them to even like keep in their brain that like I was gay and I wanted to be with a woman. And like it was so push and pull for years.
Yep.
And I felt rejected for years. But I kept choosing myself and I kept like living authentically. Keep having faith, keep being yourself, and anybody would be like blessed to be around you.
Thank you. I really appreciate you saying that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like there's a big element of applying what we learned through this experience. Like you said, like living authentically and just like how can other people respect you if we don't respect ourselves? If I said this is Haley, they'd be sheepish and then just kind of like walk away. But then I was like, this is my fiance Haley. They had to look me in the eye and I'm like, oh my God, like nice to meet you. Like you look so beautiful. And when I demanded that space, people can't back down.
Yeah.
Okay, girl, we love to see it.
And I feel like that was a big turning point of me. Like, this is all that it's about. And like, if you have something to say about it or you don't respect me, then that's fine. Like, that's your problem, not mine.
And that's what we have to say to homophobia, baby. Because we have to remember, even though the context of the show is like happening on Netflix and it feels like it's mainstream, it's still not. How many people are watching Queer Ultimatum? Like how many people are taking into account the amount of homophobia our elders had to fight and go through, the amount we're still fighting through just to have something like this, right?
What exactly did happen between you and Kyle that night at the club?
I feel like we kissed at the club and what I felt in that time was so real. And I still feel out of like how we saw each other and how you made me feel and the growth we had. I feel like this one incident that we had clouded that entire experience and it took away, because I feel like we would have been really good friends.
I wish that I had just been better at communicating with you how I was feeling, because I did feel so close to you. Like, and I'm so glad we got over that and did have great moments. And I was like selfish and I don't know what I was thinking, honestly. And I lost sight of the reason I was there. Like, I really wish we could have just been like, there's clearly chemistry here, but we want to be here to better ourselves for a partner.
If you would have just exactly said what you said, I would have been like, girl, yeah,
I know.
like that's what I wanted, and I feel like that's what I was trying to get out of you. This one thing took away.
I don't understand. Is this one thing that took away the consent violation with the kiss? Do you know what I mean? I still don't like the way they're having the conversation about it. I still feel like they're putting all of the emphasis on Kyle, and I don't get it.
It would make a lot of sense for what happened to happen. But it's like there's this added layer of like, but I came here to leave with somebody that I love and care about.
That aspect of, oh, there's a little bit of like chemistry here and like interest and like, I've never been with anyone like you. It challenged us to show up. How do we deal with this? And what does this mean for us and our partners? And how can we learn?
Having you be like, no, we're going to work through this. It really did. Sorry.
Yeah, it's interesting to see Kyle get so like worked up and emotional and feeling like, I'm so glad Pilar was with me through it. Yeah, maybe I'm just misunderstanding the situation, but it feels like I'm just so confused. Yeah, if Pilar violated consent, then why is this the dynamic? Maybe I missed something in the edit or something. I don't know.
Haley, what was it like to be in love with two people at one time?
I kind of feel bad on both sides, because on the one hand, like, I'm having to tell my partner of 10 years, like, yes, I could have feelings for this other person, but how do you fully articulate how different those feelings are? I think that the physical component is like what makes it a lot harder. The combination of the two, that like it was unnecessary. You know, you can't take it back, so I'm not even gonna go into like regret versus not regret. But what mattered more to me was just like making Pilar feel really secure after that moment, because really the future that I really wanted, as long as she would have it, was with Pilar.
Yeah. I would have got down on that knee if I could.
Yeah, she didn't have to get
They had to sew that shit up right before I got there.
I mean, this is a compliment. Dayna looks so much like Miley Cyrus. Like, it's giving Miley Cyrus vibes. But I love Miley, like, in terms of aesthetic. So it's definitely not a jab. But it's like they both have like a smoker voice, you know?
Still on track to getting married?
Yeah, we just don't really know when yet.
You know, all these couples engage and nobody knows when they're going to get married. I mean, I get it. It's a wee bit funny.
I think we still also just like want to make sure everyone in our lives are comfortable.
So how's that going? Because I know that was a big thing for you.
Boo. I ain't got no time for you guys to get comfortable. Get comfortable or not, girl. It's happening.
When I was in Miami, it was a lot. I was on the phone with my mom and dad majority of the week, just kind of like telling them, I need you. And they were both there for me. And like when we came back, we knew things had to change and we knew things were gonna change. Kind of took a few tries for Dayna and my mom to really like understand each other, but it happened. We're actually planning for both of our parents to meet soon.
Oh, interesting. I mean, my parents haven't met my in-laws. We talked about it the other day. My in-laws and we went out to our little family dinner and we talked about what it would be like if our parents met. It'll probably never happen. My parents refused to come to Europe and they refused to go to America. So yeah, that's probably not going to happen. Which is like kind of funny. I mean, I understand why they would want to go to America. Like, not right now during Trump, obviously. But yeah, my parents are not going to get on a plane. They're like not going to make that flight. But it's like kind of funny, yeah. But good news is our parents do not have to get along for our marriage to work.
You just realize when you're not serious, people aren't going to take you serious. Or if you're not certain, people aren't going to think you're certain about certain things.
Sure.
And like considering like what Dayna and I went through on the show, like I just presented it to them in a serious way. Like, hey, like, you know, I really love this person and like there's no reason why you shouldn't give them a chance. She actually came around for Thanksgiving last year.
That's a big deal. That's a big deal. One Thanksgiving, I was dating a girl, and my mom was like, "What are you doing for Thanksgiving? You're gonna come over?" And I said, "Actually, I'm seeing somebody, so I'm gonna be with them." And she was like, "Who are you seeing?" And I was like, "It's a girl." She goes, "Ugh, don't tell me about this. I don't want to know."
Which is really nice.
That's nice. I think that's really great. That's beautiful.
Yeah,
it's beautiful that Megan's mother is coming around. Not what my mom said.
I never brought anybody for Thanksgiving before, so it was
Aww.
nice. It was really cool.
It's like seeing her like believe in herself is like really all I've ever wanted. And like she found that times 10. And then I realized on top of that, you know, suddenly she's so gung-ho, like, come to my mom's house. I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
Now I have to be the brave one. Like, oh my gosh, like, I'm scared now. Like, you know, this is hard to go somewhere where you're not wanted or maybe you're going to be rejected.
Or
and
misunderstood.
I mean, all of it. Now I know what it's like to experience what it must be like to her. And that was hard. You know, that was something I also didn't comprehend was like.
So basically she was telling Megan, like, be brave and choose us. But then she didn't realize how hard that was until she had to meet Megan's parents and realize like, oh, this is really hard. That's good. That's a good, now they understand each other on a deeper level. That's good.
They had to be brave.
Yeah.
That was bravery for them. They were uncomfortable. They were scared. They were nervous. They didn't know what to do.
Oh, they meaning like Mel's parents? Or not Mel. Oh my God. My bad. Megan's parents?
For everyone, but like everyone was being brave.
Them really trying. I know how hard it must be for them to just shake those beliefs and just try to even just have an open mind. And like now we're in a great place. I think watching the show back was a little bit like daunting because it was like, wow, this was kind of supposed to be for us to like have something to show, like be proud of us, like see we're normal, and to not have that to show for now, I think like made me sad for her because it was to show them like, see, like you can be gay and be normal, or like you can have a good relationship, but like we do love.
To be fair, the most normal thing that you could have shown them is that they're just, gay people can be just as toxic as straight people. Like, I don't know why we're acting like straight couples don't have an incredibly high divorce rate. Do you know what I mean? I don't know why we're acting like being gay. Like, I love how gay people, we have to prove that our relationships are normal. But realistically, like straight people, you should have to prove that your relationships are worth it. At the rate you guys are doing domestic violence and cheating and infidelity and divorce, y'all should have to prove it, okay?
I get it wasn't the fairy tale that you wanted them to see, but it actually shows that you guys have what it takes to make it.
Who knows? Like, who knows? I don't know. I'm still not convinced, but at the same time, it's not my relationship, so I don't have to be. That's the thing, is ultimately, who cares what Brittany thinks? If they make it work and they're healthy and they're happy, I'm happy for them. I want them to be really healthy. I hope they do stay consistently good and healthy for the remainder of their lives. You know, it's hard to see Marie be so angry. It's hard to see Mel look so hurt. It's hard to see Marita be so angry, you know, and to see Ashley be so devastated. Like, it is hard to see these things. Like, but ultimately, I hope everybody who's together now is together in the future. I hope everyone's healthy and happy and secure and joyful. That's what we want, right?
Being with Haley, like she was a really good listener and she gave me the space and she heard me out. I found a lot of clarity talking to her. I think like where things got misconstrued is like I would tell Haley all the time that I loved her and I wanted Haley to be in my life. And honestly, like I really wish that we didn't take things so far because Haley would have been an amazing friend to me.
So she's saying, I love you, I love you, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. But Haley heard it as I'm in love with you too.
And I'm sorry.
The feelings were very confused, but like looking back, it's like.
You seemed really hurt.
And of course I was hurt because we thought we were going to be able to be friends after this.
Yeah.
And that's not how it was. The whole thing just got twisted around into something like ugly that I don't think either of us recognized.
What happened, and it's unfortunate. I was really anxious coming into this because I feel like there could have been so much animosity and mud, and I was like, I'm not proud of everything that happened, but I'm proud of how we came back together and how we showed up for each other and what we are and the work we've done.
It was so hard to watch that back, and anyone here has every right to be furious for at least one reason. Every person in this room has at least one reason to be furious.
For me and Brittany, it was hard because we love the both of you. We love the shit out of you guys. We both want you guys to come to our wedding. Yeah. And we were like, well, where would they sit?
Yeah,
like,
that's so hard.
I don't know.
Honestly,
No,
I hate
you didn't put us in any position. Like,
but you guys handled it amazingly. You guys
see the difference. It's so interesting how everyone's handling it so differently and like able to talk through things. Not that anyone needs to stay friends after, obviously, but it is interesting to see some of the couples be able to move past it.
We never such great friends and never.
Like, we never felt like you guys took sides.
Going out later.
Are we all going out after this?
Like, you guys texted me, I think, a couple days ago, and you were like, what are you doing after the show? And I was like, I hope we can all just hold hands together.
Marita, you can't be holding hands after the show. You were so unnecessarily cruel to Ashley. What? Kumbaya, Ashley. Also, go fuck yourself. I hate you. It's like, girl, please. Marita was out of hand.
Who do you think grew most in this experience?
Wait, they haven't shown Ashley in a while. Is Ashley still there?
I'll nominate myself for like has a lot of work to do. I think like watching myself back was painful. I thought I was a very self-aware person and realized how unself-aware I was.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Actually, I'm thankful for the point of reference to like, okay, here's what I see and like here's what I can now do. You don't ever get to experience looking at yourself like that.
I would say that you improved the most. You are so different. And I think you should be so proud of yourself.
I love you.
Because I'm proud of you.
You know, I don't think that's necessary.
Oh, there's Ashley. Okay, Ashley's there. She just hasn't been talking.
Who did and who didn't. For the part that matters the most, like who can? Everybody.
Well, a huge thank you to all of you for being here today.
I don't think you get enough credit, and I think everybody here can either speak to this. Like, I don't think you get enough credit of how an amazing host you are, how you show up for us, and even though you are a straight presenting woman, it's bridging the gap between what we experience from other people that may not.
Ooh, that's interesting because some people feel like, why is she involved as a non-queer person? But okay. I mean, she did okay. I'm not mad about her being the host or anything. It would have been cool to have a gay person, but I think in some ways the straights need somebody representing them, because if it was all gay, they would have felt like, where do I belong here? So maybe she's here so straight people can feel comfortable watching the show.
Your love and your compassion towards us makes us feel so seen. Brought a lot of light to my parents where they were like, she's straight. And I was like, yeah, like, and if she can stand up here and accept all of us, and we don't even need the acceptance or the understanding, but if you can stand here and be that person, like, I truly believe that it is the gap that needs that bridge.
There you go. Straight. Sometimes you got to see yourself. Like, that's why media representation is so important. You know, you got to see people who are like you doing things you could never imagine yourself doing, including being nice to gay people. Bigotry runs deep, bro.
And you are that bridge for us. So thank you.
Well, that means a lot to me. I really feel like such an ally, and I believe so much in love, and I believe that it's so important to celebrate love in all forms. So thank you so much. I don't think you understand how much that means to me.
She probably got a lot of flack online. She probably read a lot of the hate comments too about her. So she probably does need to hear that, get that reassurance. So I think that's good.
What matters is your experience. And I know it hasn't been a perfect one. And I know there's a lot of feelings attached to it, but surround yourself with the people that are celebrating you.
We're hugging everybody. I'm hugging. I am like not a toucher.
Kyle, give me a hug.
You guys are so incredible.
Okay, we did it, girls. Queer Ultimatum Season 2. Thank you so much for being here and watching and giving your thoughts and opinions in the sections down below. What did we learn this season? I can't guarantee that the couples who chose to stay together will be together forever, but for as long as they are together, I hope they are happy. And I hope they are healthy, whether it's for the next 10 months, 10 years, or forever. To the girlies that are still suffering, I hope they get the help they need. And I'm sorry that I didn't hear one person use the word therapy. I think that was like really disappointing. And maybe I missed it, but I didn't hear one person talk about going to therapy. And that is incredibly disappointing. I think that nobody utilized that tool when it was so obviously in need. But that's, you know, hopefully some of us watching this now will realize, like, damn, I got to use that tool. I mean, I think about it all the time. Going to therapy is kind of like going to the gym. It's not that you always need to go to the gym. Sometimes you can work out at home, but sometimes it's good to be in a gym setting. It just like, it allows you a different perspective on things you didn't consider before. You know, I'm always trying to figure out, like, when is it time for me to go back to therapy? Because there's definitely some stuff that I would love to bounce off a professional, right? And so it's not about doing it right now, but it's about doing it when it's the right time. So no rush, but do it now. All right. With that said, I'll see you guys for the next series. I'll review whatever that should be. I think it's Love is Blind UK. I think that's the next one. All right. I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.